Welcome to our introduction of Symbolit, a way to make language visible in real time. We are starting with a free download for a period of time. So if you haven't already done so, please download Symbolit and you can follow along with me as we go. So Symbolit is a real-time solution for making language visible in real time. Do you see what I'm saying? Allowing us to be able to speak to developing symbol speakers in their symbol system in the moment. Symbolit is based on the theoretical foundation of dual-symbol immersion, immersing in two symbol systems simultaneously, immersing in the auditory verbal language as well as their symbol system. With the development of language, we know that language for us, for our auditory verbal language, first language and second language, is built on the concept of immersion. Being able to hear language throughout the day in all contexts from all people. When we have that same expectation for the development of language through an alternative symbol system, through augmentative communication, we need solutions to be able to help you and I speak to our symbol speakers in complete sentences, in the moment, planned and unplanned, at home, at school, in the community. And as that became the expectation, then the solution became coming up with a technology that could do that in real-time solutions. So I can push the button and allow for the translation. When the symbol system has a symbol, and pardon me, we're going to have some jumping that's just based on our Wi-Fi connection and how many of us are on it, that you won't have when you're at your home, in your classroom, in your school, at your therapy facility. But when we push and hold the record button, then Symbolit begins a translation. It's turning your speech into symbols from a designated symbol system at that time. We have some controls to be able to adjust what it is that you and I are displaying for our symbol speaker. So on the first screen, so when I hit come back, I'm going to touch the hamburger. So when I'm touching the button, I'm looking for the symbol display. I've got size characteristics, so I can change the size of my symbols, small, medium, and large. I like a horizontal or a landscape presentation because that gives us more of the sentence structure that goes along with what I'm saying. But I can adjust the size and size characteristics. I can also adjust whether or not the screen is going to allow for scrolling. I can adjust for whether or not it shows words that do not have a picture symbol related to them. So I'm going to turn that feature off. So if I say, hi, my name is Deanne, I turned off the feature where my name would show up in a text box. If I come back and turn that on to show words, my name is going to show up in a text box. So again, a way for you and I to be able to manage that visual complexity that the learner would see. Excuse me. And I also have the capability to turn on and off the color coding. It's a modified Fitzgerald color coding for parts of speech. So if I turn that off, I've reduced the visual complexity, which I may want to do for some of my students or my individuals with visual impairments, to allow for that change in complexity. The symbol systems that we currently have available are listed under the symbol systems, and they include LAMP Words for Life, and that is at an 84 one-hit. We are in active process of working with the developers in order for us to get the sequences and to add those for both LAMP Words for Life and for Unity. We have PCS symbols, and from the PCS we have the classic, we have the high contrast, and we have the thin line. I've also included an abridged 100 and an abridged 300 that line up with core vocabulary. So if I want to reduce, again, the visual complexity, and I put in core 100 of the classic, now when I come back to the screen to be able to translate, it is only going to show the words that are part of that core 100. And it's going to take a second with the Wi-Fi to catch up with me, sorry. But what's happening here is the words that are not part of that core 100 are showing up just in the text box. Let me try that one more time. And I'm out on that. My phone tends to do better for whatever reason. So if I turned it on to the core 100, I'm just going to mirror what we've just talked about. So I'm going to do PCS, and I'm going to do the abridged 100. This is what that would look like. And so the majority of the words are part of core 100, but if I changed it to say, I would love to have a hamburger and French fries for lunch. Now from the core 100, I've got just a few words that are part of that core 100. I know it's difficult to see, but if I turn off the show words, now I've again reduced the visual complexity. And it would just reduce it to 4 symbols. Other features that we have in the symbols or other symbol systems, so we have the PCS, like I said, and we have the high contrast, which if you turn on the dark mode on your iPad, then it gives you that visual contrast that may line up with what the person has on their personal system. And then we have Smarty symbols that are an option for it. The newest feature for us is called Picture It, and it's an image to symbol translation, again allowing for that immediate translation. And so with Picture It, you can access your camera and take a picture of text. That text may be instructions on the top of a worksheet, it could be a page in a storybook, it could be the inside message on a birthday card from grandma. Just allows for that image to symbol translation. We've also had stories of people using it to be able to translate signs in the community, menus at the restaurants, to be able to provide that type of immediate feedback to their students. The idea behind it, again, is about immersion and our ability to be able to speak in symbols. So this is not an augmentative communication device that an individual would use, but it's a way for you and I to augment our language and speak in symbols. It also provides us with the option to be able to speak in complete sentences as we do the translations. And I'm going to switch myself back to Smarty symbols for this part. And I'm hoping that it's going to do it. Thank you. So I can have the melody of my speech show up in picture symbols. So if I want to tell the student, hold up, that's not what we do, I can again provide that information with the melody and the inflection of my speech augmented with the picture symbols. We don't have research that tells us about the melody related to picture symbols. It's an area that I'm super curious about. But until now, we have not had the capability to be able to do these types of translations. New features for us on the horizon are a personalizing component, where I would take a picture of maybe the students in my classroom, or I would take a picture of myself. And so when I said Mrs. O, then my picture would pop up. When I said another student's name, then their picture would pop up in the message. So it's a personalizing component. And then we also are working on the projection capability. Android is on the horizon for us as well. Right now we're available on iOS. So our key components at this point are we are a free download. Right now we don't have a limit on the duration for that free trial period because we want you to experience it. We want you to share it with the individuals, friends, and family. Symbol speakers and the people who are part of developing language for them, we want them to have an opportunity to experience real-time translation. So we don't have a limit on that. Our pricing is for the Picture It right now, $3.49 on a monthly subscription or $34.99 a year. We anticipate that remaining the pricing for the additional features, but that's yet to be determined by our business consultants. So, do you have questions? Any stories? Yes, ma'am. Yes, so the question was if Picture It is separate. Picture It is not a separate app, but it's an in-app purchase to be able to add to. That's our structure right now for that. So we're at booth 912. I've got some brochures up here at the front, including a podcast that provides the theory, the background for how we came up with the idea and the solution to be able to make language visible in real time. So thank you for your time and for your attention. Have a wonderful conference.